Thank you. It's my pleasure, actually. I'm excited and I enjoyed a lot the speech up to now. And my presentation is mostly introducing a toolkit, which which is focusing most on the how to collect the data.
No, but that's
that I saw there are a lot of interest. That makes me happy, actually.
No, that's really good. So this is everyone. I would like to introduce Ali Najm. I hope that's how you say your name.
Najm, yes.
Najm. Okay.
Yes,
Very Ali Najm.
Yes.
And so you're based at the Cyprus University of Technology.
Yes.
Thank you. Started sharing the screen. Excellent. And so you're working with various people, including Francis McGlone and Merle. And today you're going to present the Virtual Toolkit, which I'm really excited about. It's really exciting, I think, for especially the researchers to hear exactly how we can go about this and how we might be able to promote this affective touch as well. So I'll leave it to you to take it away. And thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Let's start to say what is the Virtual Touch Toolkit in general. The Virtual Touch Toolkit
Ali, we can't hear you.
Yes, you cannot hear me now.
No, we can hear you, but your sound has stopped. So Ali is prepared it.
Which is compatible with Android and iPhone devices. The aim of the toolkit is to promote self-discovery by focusing on social affective touch. And it's designed to be a research tool to investigate human touch behavior, including both discriminative and affective touch. To understand the importance of affective touch in these days is more important than ever, as the global pandemic of COVID-19 is provoking the societal changes that is predicted to be detrimental to our mental need for affective touch. Even though the technology continuously introduces new communication channel and interaction in social media, the importance of affective touch is still prevalent. So, mandatory solitude and the perceived loneliness were some of the many challenges, which, although intolerable for some, provided space and time for focusing on personal aspects of life by practicing self-awareness and introspection. So, how can the Virtual Touch Toolkit helps? The Virtual Touch Toolkit, as it mentioned, is an educational tool that promotes self-discovery by focusing on social affective touch, which refers to the emotional as opposed to the discriminative dimension of touch modality. The toolkit addresses the importance of social affective touch in a digitized and secure way to reflect upon and practice touch. It could be considered as a way to counter the ever-growing issues of social isolation, which has resulted from regulation to fight the pandemic. In addition, the exercises of the toolkit aim to popularize scientific knowledge regarding the psychology and neurobiology of affective touch, while also providing a novel approach to collecting large-scale data for empirical research in healthy and clinical populations, with the added benefit of more ecological testing outside of the laboratory setting. In the immediate future, the Virtual Touch Toolkit is created with the prospect of using it to further our understanding of the impact of COVID-19 on mental and physical health and its contribution to changes in human behavior over time. But several studies are currently underway that investigating the link between touch behavior and development, as well as body image disorder and so on. Regarding how we made it, the toolkit has been developed through Science Research Center of Cyprus and GitLab, which is Department of Multimedia and Art Graphic of Cyprus University of Technology, in collaboration with the Bundeswehr University of Munich and the International Association for Study of Affective Touch and other university, which you can see in the slide. Regarding the technical aspect, the toolkit developed by Unity Engine and programming in C# language, also using the original artwork design for this project, which you can see some of the softwares that we used here. The Virtual Touch Toolkit is designed specially for neurotypical adults who struggle with physical, social contact, or affective touch in general. Also expanding the knowledge of the affective touch and the discovery of its undervalued properties in well-being. The toolkit includes multiple features and sets of exercises which are designed to simulate the user's reward system while offering educational insight on affective touch. Furthermore, the design of the toolkit's development allows data collection, which is used both for the enhancement of user experience and the study of experimental procedure on affective touch. The data collection includes emotional state, performance of each exercise, as well as exercise evaluation. The toolkit could also be adopted for empirical and clinical use within clinical cohort to monitor and quantify changes in mood and behavior across the time as a function of application usage or specific exercises within the application. As an application, the toolkit follows a simple structure. First, the user needs to create a profile. Each device can have up to 3 different profiles. Then emotional state will be captured every time that the application is opened by user. Then user will be connected to his dashboard where he can find his educational content and suggested exercise according to his mood, as well as his achievement and his last diary. After an exercise selected and completed, the exercise evaluation info and comment will be collected. Also, the user has an option to add a note to his private daily diary. Also, it's worth to mention that each profile can be assigned to a study ID for data collection purposes and easily separate the data from different studies. Of course, according to the target of each study, the schedule and the variety of exercise during each session can be defined. As you can see in this slide, the user profile can include information about location, study ID, profile name, age, preferred gender avatar, mood map style that they like it, and they're concerned about the data collection. Regarding the data, the application collects anonymous data, such that the daily diary note will not be collected. Also, profile name will not be shared, and instead each user will be identified with the unique generated ID in the collected data. Also, data collection can happen only by agreement of the user, and the data will be shared automatically every 30 days. The data can be also sent manually by user at any time. Of course, user can restrict their consent to share data at any time in the setting tab. As mentioned in the previous slide, the user can choose between emoji, color, or words to express their effects which best represent their emotional state upon login. The toolkit calculates the user's emotional state while also taking into consideration previous emotional state that the user experienced throughout the same day. The calculation of the user's daily emotional states achieved by averaging the x and y coordinates of the circumflex respectively each time the user logs in throughout the day and declared an emotional state as described. Also, the user has access to review the changes on his emotional state through a graph in the toolkit. Tracking the emotional state across time could allow the user, clinician, or experimenter to track changes across time and draw conclusion on the overall emotional state of the user. Moreover, depending on the user's emotional state upon login, the toolkit offers recommendations of exercises. In the last graph, we present sample data from our ongoing pilot in which a particular exercise was suggested to the user as a function of their emotional state and subsequently result in a subsequent improvement in mood. The toolkit consists of 4 types of exercises as a function of the expected benefit to the user, including stress control, increased mindfulness, touch training, and heightened body awareness, which the user can filter the exercises according to these categories at any time. The toolkit has 16 different exercises, which most of them are instructional, with text and visual guidance. Some includes a timer to indicate the duration of exercise, and some other has metronome to aid in training city optimal stroking velocity. There are also user interact exercises, which includes more functions, such as those that capture and provide feedback about the user stroking speed and interacting with the 3D model of the body. As you can see here, each exercise has three main sections. First, educational information about the relevant exercise will be provided. Then, instruction with the text and visual on how to perform the exercise will be presented. And in the end, the assessment of the effect that the exercise had on the participant's mood. In the exercise called My Body in Your Hands, Touch Zones, and the Sounds of My Body, the user is encouraged to interact with the virtual human. The activities of these exercises include the stroking and imagining of being stroked at the various body sites across the human model. Specifically, in the exercise My Body in Your Hands, the user is prompted to paint the sites on the body and indicate where they feel more or less comfortable while being stroked, where being touched would feel more or less pleasant. In the beginning, the user can select two contexts that they would like to try, such as loved one versus acquaintance. During the first two steps of the exercise, the user are given the tools to indicate their perceived acceptability of social touch when it comes to the first contact and second one. In the third step, the user can compare the two models depicting his acceptability side by side. These changes could be the result of time, context, and the developing relation between the involved people, who could be real or imagined. One of the important features of this exercise is the ability to analyze the heat map intensity value across contexts and as the function of specific body zones. Interaction through affective touch, vicariously with virtual or through physical interaction with the real human, has been a subject of study in several of researches that revealed that certain area of the body, which humans consider highly receptive to social touch, transcends cultural boundaries. The designation of the touch zones through the proposed toolkit could shed more light in the aspect of social norms and provide quantifiable evidence of larger cohorts in a more ecological settings than testing in the lab. Some exercises of the toolkit are devoid of any social elements and focus on the discriminative aspect of touch. The contrast between the discriminative and affective touch helps the user distinguish the difference between the two modalities. Sadness Pong and Silky Soft are some of the exercises that encourage the user to focus on their emotion while touching specific materials. Especially relevant to discriminative touch is the exercise Touch Materials, which offers a list of materials with which to virtual interact, including skin, wood, water, and a variety of other materials. The user will touch the screen, illustrating different material with the experience enhanced by the incorporating the sound of touching these surfaces as a form of multisensory enhancement. The touch material exercise is based on and provides the potential to further investigate audio-tactile integration, further complemented by vision, akin to the well-established multisensory illusion known as a parchment skin illusion. The audio files contained in the toolkit are relevant to the visual representation of each material, and the audio activates upon tapping or sliding on the screen. To make the parchment skin illusion more conspicuous and realistic, the multi-touch tapping and the speed of the sliding on the screen determines the pitch and the volume of activated audio. This set of exercise allows tracking of user stroking motion parameters in 2D over time, which may identify user stroking behavior, both overall potential individual difference as well as changes within an individual across the usage of the application. A fundamental function of social affective touch is that of mood regulation and stress relief. Importantly, based on previous research, even without presence of another, the oxytocin system activated through CT-mediated touch has been proposed as a key mode self-regulation behavior. The Visual Touch Toolkit contains many other exercises that helps users self-regulate when necessary, just by simply touching their skin, aimed to activate CT receptors. Other exercises that are more adjusted to the social aspect of affective touch are two types of touch and what's that letter. Two types of touch instruct the user to notice the difference between touching your skin and the skin of a partner, as the contrast makes the distinguish between the sensory mode clearer. What's the letter involves the training of the kinesthetic ability of users, which helps them decode sensory information, such as when a partner forms a shape of a letter on a blind spot of the user's skin and the user must guess the letter. Despite the social dimension of these social touch exercises, in the case of solitary individuals, imaginations could facilitate their process to operate exactly like the self-touch exercises described before. Also, there are more interactive exercises, such as the lullaby exercise, which instruct the user to synchronize the rhythm of a melody and practice affective touch with the assistance of a user interface and a metronome. The practice of the affective touch in combination with other rhythmical input like singing is especially important developmentally to establish and maintain caregiver-infant bond. The purpose of the metronome, which is sometimes integrated into the previous mentioned exercises as well, is based on studies, suggesting that there is a Goldilocks zone where city afferents are preferentially tuned to an optimal medium velocity stroking speed, not too fast and not too slow. Sound-oriented exercise, Goldilocks effect, elucidate the frequency aspect of affective touch, both in practice and theory. Regarding the data saving, one of the main advantages of the toolkit is that its development provides wide range of information about performance, emotional state, and activities of the user in the structural way, which allows us to run various studies. So we can say that this toolkit is not a one-purpose application, as it's capable to be used in several studies and covering different aspects. In conclusion, the toolkit serves as a reminder of the importance of affective touch as a fundamental biological human need. Long before COVID-19, we lived in an era where the value of social touch was undermined. However, since the outbreak of the pandemic, this situation became worse due to the fear associated with physical social interaction, which may be pushing the perception of social touch to be the point of demonization. One aspect that could be characterized as the compelling regarding the Virtual Touch Toolkit is the instigation of discovering veiled facets of oneself through affective touch. And finally, more potential usage of the toolkit in research could range from investigating neuropsychological disorders to exploring differences in the experiencing of affective touch between ethnic groups, and could also be used for empirical research on virtual and the related sense of vicarious touch. I hope you enjoyed and thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. No, that was a really, really interesting presentation. That's an amazing app. It looks just so usable and it can gather so much information. Because hey, we've got already a few comments and things like that in the
Yes.
chat on YouTube, so people are very welcome to post more questions and comments there as well. People are definitely excited about using this, and it's brilliant that this could be used in lots of other different studies for different applications as well. There was a quick kind of question comments about that there are some studies on the behavioural effects of touch, such as massage in school children, and one of them was done in Sweden, but another one was done in children with intermittent tummy ache. So I guess an application like this could actually be used to help people of all different ages, but if they could be focused to kind of massage, for example, a place in their body, could it be possible to say, I'm feeling bad here? and then it may say, or touch yourself, like massage yourself or things like that. That might be nice to know and could you gather the data on this as well?
Yeah, it will. It's a nice comment, actually. It's a very interesting suggestion as well for using in this way. Yeah, definitely it's possible to do this thing. Also, as I mentioned in the presentation, it keeps the history as well. And this can change during the time. And, it can be interesting for the user or for the researcher to see that how this area can change, for the massage purpose, or if for the if they are comfortable or no, and how it is going to change, what kind of parameter can affect this thing. Yeah, this can be used in that direction as well. It's interesting. Thank you.
No, that's really nice. And also the Swedish study that was just mentioned there was by Kirsten Unless Mober, but it's not been published. So we look forward to that one. But also Jean Barlow said that she's done several studies with peer touch before, meeting Professor Francis McGlone, but only looked at the social and academic outcome within the classroom. So that's interesting, very interesting to know. I was wondering as well, would it be interesting to look at the variability from the data of the touch app? So, for example, the variability in the emotions and things like that on a day-to-day basis. And I was wondering, is there going to be quite a big variability between people?
Okay, for their emotion, it can be a different. Okay, first of all, we are collecting during the day and also daily basis. What is calculated in the application, it will be the exercise or the application, it will give the suggestion according to the emotion state of the person in the first time that they enter to the application. And during the day, but we collect all the data, of course. And if I can show you maybe the slide that it was for the, if you can see here, let's say, it's here we have a chart that it will show the daily base emotion state of each user. Yeah, this will be collected, as I mentioned, and also for different users. For different user, we can have it, as you mentioned. Also, we can have it according to each exercise. After each exercise, what will be the feeling? Okay, definitely we have a lot of variety of, different variety in different occasion and different people, different area, all this kind of thing, yeah.
So I guess it means because it's international as well, that means you'll be able to look at variability from all over the world.
Yes. Yeah, and we have the very good point of this application is that we have access to very big data, actually. We can give to the people and we can collect a very valuable data from all around the world.
No, that's exactly, yes. I think, the point of this. It's so interesting, and it's so nice that it's international, but then again, it's giving data back in an international way. And that's it's just so nice. I was wondering as well, do people have favorite exercises to do?
Sorry?
Do people have favorite exercises to do?
Yeah.
Do people have favorites? Is there a favorite one that people prefer?
Okay, to be honest, your question is going more for the after analysis data. We didn't collect a lot of data yet. Okay, we have running a study, but to be honest, we don't have a lot of analysis yet. Okay, we are looking for more researchers to start using it, and we can
advertise it.
Exactly. Currently, we don't have a lot of. We have four studies that is running currently, but we are in the first stage yet. We didn't collect an analysis data yet. That's why I cannot clearly answer your question. Yes.
No, it's fine. But it would be very interesting to know if there's a favorite.
Yes.
There's another question that's come in from Michael-Grigoriou. Are you planning to include any measure of interoception, so the sense of physiological condition of the body, in your measures?
What kind of parameter is referring to?
So interoception, so kind of, I guess, kind of how you feel in yourself. If you could have a question on does your body feel calm or something like this?
Okay, we don't have this kind of questionnaire currently. But for specific occasion, we can add actually some questionnaire in the before. Now, currently, we have only the emotion when they open the application actually. And after each exercise, we just ask their mood, not this kind of question. But okay, it's a good suggestion and good comment actually. We can, yes, consider this as well for specific study if it's needed.
Even if you could get maybe people to count their heartbeat or respiration or something like that.
That would be great if we can add, let's say, more technical aspect to the application, that this kind of parameter comes directly from maybe from the, smartwatch or something.
Exactly. Nice and connected.
So it will be great if it's that. It will, in my opinion, it will be much more valid data we can collect.
That'd be wonderful. And I think Merle's just said they're considering hooking it up to objective physiological measures as well, which would be really, really nice. So yeah, everything, all the data could be collected in one app together, which is really nice. And that'd be great to use in many different studies. So I think we definitely encourage people to definitely think about using this app and all the possibilities that it can open. So
thank you. Yeah, the pleasure is to see that this will be useful widely, and everybody can use it in for a study way, for research purpose, and also for helping people as well. I mean, that's the purpose of this application.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah. Well, I think we'll leave it there. And so I'd like to thank you very much again for presenting this beautiful app. And I encourage people to download it.
Yes, they can find it also in the website that you can share with the people. Yeah,
that's wonderful. It will be on the ISAT website soon, if not now.